Hey guys, this is Dave with Full Armor Gaming, and I am coming to you with a tips and tricks video. I recently went to Gen Con a couple weeks ago, and it was my very first con, and I was so excited to go. Unfortunately, I only had one day available to me to go, and so in that day that I was there, I learned how little I know about cons, and I learned a lot. And so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about how to help people be prepared for these cons so that they can get the most out of the time that they have there. So come along with me and I'll show you guys what I learned. I'm gonna go down a list that I made here of tips and tricks, or maybe don't do's and do's, of things that I've learned at Gen Con. My wife is a beautiful, wonderful person, and she is my planner. When we go anywhere, she's the passenger princess, but if we ever go on a trip, I am the passenger prince. I plan nothing. She does everything, and I just walk around with a drink in my hand thinking, this is so great. For this Gen Con trip, it was roles reversed. My wife was like, I'm happy to go with you. I want to go. It'll be fun. I'm not planning any of it. This is all on you. I am 100% a person that's like, all right, cool. Well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Oh, now, there's your first mistake.
So, number one tip, don't figure it out when you get there. That's the first tip. I realized very quickly when I walked in, I saw the scope of what a con is. I realized I was thoroughly underprepared for what I was encountering. So I want to go through and help you, because I should have looked this up ahead of time. I should have prepared, and we would have gotten way more out of our trip if I had. And so I want to help you guys for your next trip to any of the cons. I mean, a lot of these will be good no matter what you go to, any sort of con. So first thing that I learned is prioritize early purchases. So prioritize your event tickets first. If there's certain things that are going to be going on that you need to have a ticket for, look that up. Look up when you're going to be getting your ticket to go to the con. Be like, what events are going on there that I want to make sure I am at? Look through that list, find what it is you're looking for, and buy the tickets early. We got there, it's like, ooh, look at this cool thing. We should go to that. Sold out. Oh, look at this thing. We should go to that. Sold out. I learned very quickly when I walked in the door and it said sold out all day. So I was like, oh man, this is probably gonna be pretty busy. Yes, I know, I'm an idiot. I should have been prepared. I was not. But that's my number one. There's a lot of really cool things that happen at these cons, and you can get some crazy experiences. But you gotta buy it. If they are ticketed, you're gonna have to have decided way in advance, I want to do these and what day you're going to be there and all of that. My next tip is going to be, do not overbook your day. As you're looking through it, all of these really cool things, you need to come up with a couple must-dos. So for me, there was a couple booths I really wanted to hit. And when you walk into that exhibit hall, if you're a person that gets overstimulated, you're gonna get overstimulated. I got overstimulated within the first 5 minutes, but you push through because it's amazing. When you're going into the exhibit hall, or you're wanting to go to different events, or there's certain games you want to play, you need to already have in your mind my must-dos. These are the ones I gotta make sure I hit when I'm there. These are the non-negotiables, and come up with that list and make sure that you don't overbook your schedule. It's not fun to be sprinting from one event to the next event to the next event, and you're dying by the end of it. Make sure you have some breather time in there to really enjoy stuff. That's what you're there for, is to enjoy it. So that's my next big tip, is do not overbook yourself while you're there. Okay, so the other thing I learned afterwards, after we had left, I found out about it, and I don't know how I didn't know about it. Gen Con has an app. Use the app. Use the app. Download that app. I would download it. If you go to Disney World, or you go to Universal Studios, or any of those, they all have apps that tell you exactly where everything is and what's going on and when it's gonna be there. And Gen Con does too. Use it. Use the app. I was sitting there I was online trying to look through schedules on their website and all this, and I was like, this is just not great. And then I found out later there was an app for that. Use the app. If you go to a con, Google if there's any sort of app for it. If there is, get the app. It helps so much to know what's going on, where it's going on at, maps, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very vital to have the app. It makes life so much simpler. The other thing, now as an avid theme park enjoyer, I knew about this one ahead of time. So I did do this one thing. This is not one that I learned. This is one I'm conveying that I've learned way off in the past. And that is wear comfy shoes.
Those must be comfortable shoes. I bet you could walk all day in shoes like that and not feel a thing.
It is hard concrete you are walking on all day. And a lot of these cons do not have tons of places for you to sit down. You will be on your feet the whole time, unless you go to some of these events. If you go to some of the events, you can sit down and enjoy these events. But if you haven't scheduled events, you will be on your feet the whole day. Wear comfy shoes, unless you're gonna cosplay. That's cool. But even if you're cosplaying, if they can't see your feet, wear comfy shoes. So that is it's a small tip, but it's a big tip. You know, it's not, your day can be defined by the pain that's in your feet if you are not wearing comfy shoes by the end of the first day. And if you're gonna be there multiple days, you're gonna wake up the second day and your feet are gonna be shot from the first day, and it's gonna be a rough second day. Comfy shoes make a big difference. So this is another tip I learned afterwards. I learned after I had left. I saw the exhibit hall closes at 6. So I thought, everything's over at 6. You know, yeah, you could go in the other halls and continue to play games till like 2 a.m. And I was like, yeah, but I wasn't really there to play the games. I was there to learn more about new stuff coming out. And okay, so I left when the exhibit hall closed. I'm like, okay, cool. I did not know there's evening events. There's all kinds of evening events. Now, back to one of my previous tips, you probably had to buy tickets for those events early. So even if I had realized there were evening events, I did not buy tickets to those events. I probably wouldn't have gotten in. But evening events are where you get to meet and experience all of the really cool parts of the Gen Con, because that's where like all of like the people that you look up to, like, okay, so like when we were walking around in the exhibit halls, my wife, she got to bump into Jacob from XP to Level 3, a YouTuber that we both absolutely love watching, and he's been a huge inspiration to us. I got the privilege of, as I was walking through, I bumped into like Jenny D's stand, and I was like, oh, hey, Jenny D, that's so cool. And she was there, and I didn't even realize she was there when I was walking by filming. And then I went back later, I turned my camera off and went back later, and I got to talk to her for a little bit. And it was really, really cool. That is something you want to spend time on, and you want to get to, if you can, meet people that are inspiring you in D&D, if you can. Now, you know, like you can't always do it, but always also keep your eye out as you're walking around. Both of those were situations that if I hadn't been paying attention, we would have walked right past those people and not realized it. So always have your head on a swivel when you're at a con. You never know who you're gonna bump into. But like for me, one of the ones I saw later was there that day and I missed was R.A. Salvatore. Now, I am a huge Legend of Drizzt fan, and I have read most, if not all, of his books. And if I had known he was gonna be there, that would have been high priority for me. Would have been bringing one of my Drizzt books along and having him sign it for me, because I think that dude is awesome. He is a huge part of what got me into D&D. Jenny D was a huge part of what got my wife into D&D. When my wife first started to kind of dip her toe in the D&D world, she wasn't super excited about it, because most of the D&D content is red and black and dark and dragons and all of that kind of stuff. My wife found Jenny D's channel, and she realized D&D can be cute. D&D can be pretty. D&D can be fun and artsy, and she tapped into a side of D&D that she did not know existed. And it was all thanks to Jenny D. So that is huge, getting a chance to meet people like that. So once again, evening events are a huge opportunity to get to see people like that interact. They had a lot of like D&D one-shots that happened with a whole bunch of the celebrities up there. It was really, really neat. I saw videos of it because I wasn't there, because I didn't know what was happening. So super jealous that I missed that. So don't miss that. Look up ahead of time. Don't forget about the evening events. My last tip. Okay, so this is kind of like the parent talking to their teenager that just got their first paycheck. Budget. When you walk into these cons, remember I was talking about being overstimulated? The amount of cool things that you can purchase there is outstanding. You will blow through a large amount of money very quickly if you do not have a budget set up for yourself. So that morning when you're on your way to the con, or you know, the morning, the night before, something like that, make sure you know how much money you can spend at this safely, and put a limit and stick to the limit, because yeah, it can get out of control pretty quick. Because man, when you're walking around these cons, there's just so much cool stuff and you want all of it. And like I really wanted to get like the Daggerheart, you know, games, core rules game set. I really wanted to get the Dungeon Crawler Carl one because I am a huge Dungeon Crawler Carl fan, and there was Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff everywhere and I wanted all of it. And I realized very quickly I don't have the budget for all the stuff that I want. So I had to stick to my budget, and you know, we kept it pretty small for this event. But all in all, I want to make sure you enjoy yourself, not just while you're there, but when you come home and you look at your credit card bill, I want to make sure you're not like, oh no, I can never go to a con again. So once again, budget. Make sure you have an amount set up ahead of time, and try not to go over that amount. But those are just some tips that I've got. All in all, even though my wife and I went and she made fun of me because I did zero planning and it was very much fly by the seat of our pants, we still had a great time. It was just, I know we could have had a much better time had I done a little bit of research. So use what I've learned here to help yourself in the future when it comes to, I mean, honestly, this applies to any con, Gen Con, like Comic-Con, Anime Con, any of those. I know coming up in Fort Wayne, Indiana here in October, we've got MadCon, which is just one of our local ones, and it's getting bigger every year. So I'm super excited for that one. I was at that one last year. I won't be able to make it this year, which is a real bummer, but keep an eye out for that one as well. I hope these tips have helped you plan ahead for what your next trip is going to look like, so that you have the trip that you really, really want, and you walk away super excited, wanting to go again. On that note, this is Dave from Full Armor Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.